Joining me, Jim Hibbs with the Des Moines Real Estate Show. We're here at Westworld. I've got my nephews along with me. We're at the Barrett-Jackson World's Largest Car Auction 2019 here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Guys, are we having fun?
Yes.
All right, we're looking at lots of cars. And you might say, what do cars have to do with real estate? Well, I've got a wonderful guest coming up here in just a moment who's going to talk about getting that home, making sure that home is ready for the auction block or the market. That in a moment. First, the numbers. As of January 17th, 2019, 3,537 homes on the market. 2,808 single-family homes of that number. Under 200,000, only 772 homes on the market. And in Polk County, that number is only 388. Still a seller's market in that price point. At 201 to 300,000, 847 on the market. Around central Iowa, 512 in Polk County. Above 301,000. More than a third of all the homes on the market over 301,000, 1,188. So a lot of homes in that category. 547 townhomes of that on the market as of January 17th, 2019. And one more number for you. Over 1,800 cars here at Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale. And we're going to go inside to the auction right now. Earlier in the week, I caught up with Kristi, and she is the guru in central Iowa of getting that home ready to show. Right, Felix?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about homes and getting that home ready, making sure it is ready for the auction block, actually for the sales. We've got Kristi Andriano here with us. And Kristi, you're a professional stager.
Correct.
You know how to make that home shine before it's out into the market. Tell us about that.
That is always the goal.
Yeah.
Anymore, way back in the day when I started doing this, staging was not a thing that people were even aware of.
Right.
Now it's almost just a given that you need to prepare your home to sell. You need to get it to the point where it's going to show at its very best and stand out from the other homes. And there's lots of aspects of home staging and lots of things we can do. So,
all right, we're going to talk about those 5 things you need to know. Tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, Lord. I have been staging homes, I believe I'm starting my 15th year.
All right.
Prior to that, I was a partner in a new construction company and would help design homes from a woman's point of view. I love doing this. I think I get bored pretty easy, and home staging is it's like a puzzle. Everyone is different. Every client's different. So it keeps it fun and exciting.
All right. Well, let's talk about some fun and exciting things. Folks who may be thinking about putting their house on the market and they're looking around the home, boy, what do I need to do? What are the top 5 things that potential home seller needs to know about getting that home ready?
Absolutely. The number one thing I tell everyone is clean, clean, clean.
And clean.
And clean. Clean. Nobody wants to buy your dirt. Nobody wants to buy your dirty dishes or your dirty laundry or your pet hair, those kinds of things. And so really, before you list, one of the most important things you can do is a thorough cleaning of the entire home. From washing windows to cleaning carpets, those kinds of things, as well as getting the dust bunnies out of the corners and that type of thing. Once it's listed, though, you do need to try to maintain a clean home. And you never know when somebody's going to come, and it might be the perfect person, but you don't want to walk in and see, your son's underpants on the floor. So keep it clean. Some things just to help you maintain that on an ongoing basis, particularly if you have children or pets or messy roommates or spouses.
Right.
Baskets are great things. If you've got guys, when my kids were little, they were guys. They were Army guys, or it was his Matchbox cars, or Legos, or whatever it is.
Right.
Baskets are great for quick pickups. If you know you've got somebody coming in 30 minutes, throw all that messy stuff into a basket, tuck it into a closet or on a shelf, and the house shows much better.
Right.
So you want to try to keep things as clean as you can. Another thing I always tell people, you're going to hate me now, but you will love me later. Get rid of the stuff you don't want to move to your new home.
Right.
So if you've got a lot of stuff sitting around, whether it's in a storage room or in your garage or your closet, and it's nothing you're going to take with you, now's the time to get rid of it. Then when you move, you're going to go, Kristi, that was so great. Thanks for helping me get rid of all that crap.
I've got a perfect example for you. We moved recently in 2018, my wife and I did, and went down into the basement, and we're preparing our house for listing and then also for moving. And I found bins that were moved into the home in 2007 and had sat there until 2018.
Probably never opened them up once.
Nope. I did, and then I ran over to Goodwill and said, "There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Somebody else will use that stuff.
Somebody else will use that stuff." And the cleanliness part of the home, it's one of the more difficult conversations your realtor will have with you, the seller, because my experience is that there are different levels of clean for different folks.
Right.
You want to find that, Felix Unger, that's probably dating me, right? Felix and Oscar. You want to make sure that home is as clean as possible. And in some cases, you may want to hire a professional to come in and really do that deep clean. It's very important.
That's absolutely right. And time is important too. So if you don't have the time to do it, hiring somebody is worth the money.
Yeah.
And keeping your sanity.
Let's talk about number 2. It's along the same lines, but different. Declutter and lighten. Declutter
and lighten. So we talked about cleaning, and that's the basic stuff of, keeping your counters wiped up and those kinds of things. Your home may be as clean can be, but if it's got a lot of little knickknacks and a lot of stuff everywhere, it tends to look cluttered and doesn't appear to be clean. Particularly in online photos, that tends to be where it shows up the most. If you've got lots of stuff, the photos don't show well. The photos don't show well, you don't get buyers in. So decluttering could be, maybe you've got 5 recliners all facing the TV in your family room. Okay, you probably don't need that many. So it might be a matter of removing some furnishings, but almost always it's a matter of removing small items. It's much better to have a few larger items than a lot of small items for a cluttering purpose.
Right.
So I always suggest, first of all, remove all your teeny tiny little things and your family photos. Remove those and then maybe spread out your larger items, whether it's on a shelf or an end table or a nightstand. And I have a rule of thumb, no more than 1 to 3 items or groupings on any flat surface. So if you've got some built-in shelves, you vary between 1 and 3 items on it, but a stack of books is considered just one grouping. Okay, if you get much more than those 1 to 3 items or groupings, that's when it starts to look cluttered.
Okay, and I'm looking around the studio in my office right now thinking I need to maybe do some decluttering.
I've just got maybe a couple
few
of suggestions for you. The best way to make your home feel spacious is natural light. So you're going to want to open up your blinds, pull back the curtains, those types of things, particularly if you have a good view. Maybe you don't have a good view. Well, then maybe we leave the blinds down, but we angle them open so you can let as much light come in as possible. And, a lot of times I'll walk into a room and it's like a man cave, okay? My husband loves a man cave. Yeah. But if you open up those curtains, suddenly the room appears bigger, it shows better in online pictures as well. So natural light's the best way. Also in the wintertime, like you were just saying, oftentimes I'll suggest take your screens out the windows if you know you're not going to open your windows. That lets more light in as well. The only downfall with that is you really have to make sure you have clean windows because all the smudges and everything shows. Okay, so natural light, best way to make your home feel spacious. The second best way is artificial light. Mm-hmm. So when you have online pictures and showings, you're going to want to turn on your ceiling lights, your accent lights, if you've got under cabinet lights, anything like that. And that, again, just makes the room feel much more spacious and the home feel more spacious.
Yeah. Let's talk about repairs and updates. That's another difficult discussion that we realtors have with our sellers when we point out items that will cost a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, it will help them reap a better price for their home.
Absolutely. So when it comes to repairs, there are big repairs and there are slow repairs. The little ones tend to be easier, but they're also maybe more obvious. So, for example, you have been looking at that broken towel rod for years. You planned on fixing it, life happened, you didn't. Yeah. Well, if they see a little repair like that that's not been taken care of, then buyers are going to start to wonder, well, what other things have not been repaired that they can't see quite so easily? So first off, start with the little things. Fix the towel rod. If you've got a leaky faucet, fix that. If you've got stains in your carpet, let's get your carpets cleaned. If you've got cracks in the walls or whatever, just little basic things that are kind of maintenance,
right?
Take care of those first. But there also may be some big repairs and or updates. Yeah. Okay, so that's where it kind of gets hard. It really depends on the market. It depends on the price range of the home for how much you should do. I have never told someone to knock a wall out before you sell your home. That maybe someday, but in 15 years I never have.
We reserve that for HGTV, where it only costs $5,000 for a new kitchen.
Yes, and that's a lie, people. So what I try to do is prioritize updates. What makes the most sense? Some things can be very simple, like removing yesterday. Old wallpaper border.
Sure.
Okay, that needed to come down, and you can do it yourself or you can hire someone, but there's just all different ranges. The higher the price of the home, the higher the expectation of the buyers.
Right.
And so if you still maybe have the shiny brass light fixtures, which again, gold is coming back now, but it's different.
I hear about oak too.
Yeah, everything comes back around. But let's try to update those things. Right now, currently, the most common fixtures are oil rub bronze and brushed nickel. And then we've got like a brushed gold that's starting to come back as well.
Okay.
But, if you're in a lower price range home, let's focus on the maintenance things as opposed to putting in all new stainless steel appliances and granite or quartz countertops and those kinds of things. So really, you don't want to over-improve for what the house can sell for.
Right. And certainly there are financial considerations. Everybody's different at that point of time when they're selling their home, and you have to weigh the financial considerations with some of the things that need to be done. But these are just ideas on making sure your home is ready to go to the best of your ability when it goes into the market, because you go into that market one time and people see that home online and they see it in person, and a lot of these things they communicate messages. When that towel holder is broken off, you've been looking at for 5 years, what else might not be working?
Absolutely.
So very good points. Number 4.
Neutralize and depersonalize. Now, we talked a little bit about depersonalizing with the sports teams or the collegiate teams or whatever that is. So to minimize that. But also you want to depersonalize when it comes to family photos and other kinds of personal collections. We want buyers to be looking at the attributes of the house, not at all of I'm sure your grandchildren are beautiful, but we want them to focus on those things. So I would say let's keep maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite family photos, maybe something that's got everybody in it so you don't hurt anybody's feelings, but then go ahead and remove the rest. You can set it back up in your brand new home.
Right.
But for now, let's minimize family photos. Let's say you love turtles. Turtles are great. But if there's turtles everywhere in the house, that tends to throw people off too.
Yeah.
So if you've got collections of lots of things, again, minimize those things as well.
I've seen it out in the street, whether it's beer stein collections, Smurfs. I've seen Smurf collections still yet today, team collections with lots of signatures, baseball, all that stuff is great. I do collect a bit myself, but when it comes time to sell, you need to pack it away and put it away again. And I tell people, you want that buyer to imagine their things on the wall.
Absolutely.
Imagine what they have on the wall. And if they're looking at your beautiful grandchildren, they're looking at your beautiful grandchildren. Oh, those are cute kids, rather than saying, this is the house for me.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the depersonalizing part.
Yep.
Then the neutralizing is also, I've gone into a home and they said, well, we knew you were coming and we needed to paint the master bedroom, so we painted this beautiful orange. And I thought, oh gosh, orange is great, but I wish you would have talked to me first. So you want to neutralize big things like walls, flooring, those kinds of things, because you want buyers to be able to picture their furnishings in the house. And for example, if your master bedroom is all orange and they don't have a thing in their world that's orange, that's hard for them to visualize. So neutralize the big things. And right now, gray is still king when it comes to wall colors.
Yes, it is.
It's going a little bit more to a warmer gray, like a grayish, but still, keep those neutral. The only thing that you have to be careful about, though, is that you don't over-neutralize. I've walked into homes, and it's either all beige or it's all gray, and it is a little bit boring, particularly in online pictures. So when you neutralize the big things like the walls and the floor and those kinds of things, always make sure you've got a few pops of color to draw your eye around the room. Very easy ways that you can add color. A bowl of fruit, a vase of flowers on the table, pillows with orange. If you love orange, go with neutral walls, but put some orange pillows on your sofa. Okay? So just make sure you don't make it too neutral and too boring.
And my recommendation is don't paint it orange right now. Maybe that'll come in 10 years or so. Maybe.
You never know. But
not today. No. Very good points. All right, number 5.
Focus on the selling features of the home. From a staging standpoint, the 4 most important areas of the home first is the entry. That's the first thing buyers see when they come in. And if buyers have a bad first impression, they have a hard time getting over it. Mm-hmm. Either you may have taken clients in and they walk in and they went, nope.
30 seconds to 1 minute and we're out the door.
Yeah, because they just can't get over that first bad impression. So the entry, or the first thing buyers see when they come in, is important. the family room, where most people spend a lot of their time, kitchen, and then the master bedroom. Now, those are 4 of the most important areas. Of course, we want the whole house to show nicely, but those are priority areas. Okay. Also, I've seen this over and over and over again. You want to focus on the selling features of the house, but oftentimes it appears that sellers tend to think that their TV is the most important aspect of the house. And so everything revolves around where's the best view for the television. Okay, buyers most likely are not going to be buying your television, maybe sometimes. But like I said, maybe every chair and recliner is focused on the TV, when on this wall is a beautiful fireplace and built-ins or great windows with an awesome view. Okay,
Right.
But wherever that seating is facing is where people tend to look. We want them to see what comes with the house. So just make sure that you focus on the selling features of the house. Maybe you've got beautiful quartz countertops, but they've got a lot of stuff on them. So first we're going to declutter, but we're not going to leave it empty. We want just a few things to draw your eye around because we want to make sure those buyers see those quartz countertops.
Right.
So just make sure that you really put focus where it belongs and show the buyers everything that they get with that house.
Yeah. Kristi, how do we get a hold of you?
You can check out my website,
Okay.
andrianohomes.com. Give me a call, 515-991-3319, or connect with your realtor. I work with realtors galore, but I'm sure and they'll be able to get a hold of me as well.
Wonderful information.
Thank you.
A bright, shiny bit of information on kind of a
little bit of a dreary day,
in Iowa. It is January after all. Kristi, off to spring we go. Thank you
you.
so much. So some great tips. Like I said, we're going to head into the auction, right, guys?
Yes.
Are we buying any cars today?
I wish.
Yeah, we wish. All right. Thanks for joining us here on the Des Moines Real Estate Show from Scottsdale, Arizona. This go around. Get out there and make the most of the day. We'll see you about that.
Aunt Amy says you can't buy a car. Aunt Amy says you can't buy a car.